You can pick up your Diamond Select figures at Big Bad Toy Store at the link in the description.
Kaiju, Turtles, Dragon Ball, and more. It's Steven's Toy Reviews.
Hey, Collector Steven here, and welcome to another Pacific Rim review. I really tried to get this up on the 10-year birthday of Pacific Rim, but unfortunately, time really got to me. But hey, here we are. All right, so we have a review of the Diamond Select Toys Gipsy Danger. Now, a lot of folks were surprised when this one got solicited because, all right, cool, we got another Gipsy Danger figure on the market. Now, I was kind of saving this as a little skit for the end, that this was going to be $40 to kind of bring up the point that I was going to make throughout this review. But nevertheless, I'm going to keep it concise. At $40 and a little bit late to the game, is this going to be a matter of DST bringing the heat and their best offerings to the market, or it's the only Gipsy Danger figure that's really on the market right now, and considering the NECA, at least in my experience, would literally self-implode, is this just what we have? Let's take a look to see whether or not it's going to be worth adding into your collection. Okay, so when it comes to the looks of Gipsy Danger, there are some subtle differences between when Knifehead plows into her chest, giggity, and when she is first getting deployed to fight Knifehead. So it's been a while since I looked at any of the art source material and so forth for Pacific Rim. So I'm not going to comment on accuracy, but what I will say pertaining to Gipsy's paint application and sculpt, we really do have some rather fine sculpt and paint here for Gipsy. I'm not really going to say that too much is going to be out of line or things are missing detail. I do have to say that at a glance, when you're holding her just, in your hands, maybe, 3 feet away or so, there's nothing really wrong here. I think that it could have been more detailed because, unfortunately, I am going to have to make the comparison with NECA solely for the fact that it was $30 back in the day. That's going to be a point as well that I'm going to talk about. There were a lot more details and it lit up. Again, put a pin in that. I am going to come back to that. That being said, though, for what Diamond Select Toys did put on the market here, this by no means looks like a bad figure. DST did put out something that at least looks nice. She looks good. Articulation for Gipsy, well, it's movable. All right, we're going to do the accessories in the same section because it's pretty easy to do. So for her head, it plugs into the neck on a ball joint, but it just kind of sort of pivots and wobbles around a bit. Just kind of like that. Okay, can't really look up that far down. That's an interesting thing about Gipsy figures. Every so often with the neck ball joint, you're gonna get something interesting, right? You're gonna get an extra special range of movement there, and sometimes when you want to get her to look in one direction, she can. Other times, okay, it works. The shoulder pads seem to be on a ball joint that allows you to move them around just fine with no real particular issues, which is good. But here's where we kind of get into a bit of an issue. I'm gonna wrap this back around to Hugo Martin. Who's that? We'll talk. She can't really T-pose, okay? So she can move her arms about that far, and I think the shoulders seem to just be on a ball joint where they plug in. I can't really get a good look in, but anyway, we can get her to spin her arms around with no problem. Her, because, that's what they use in the movie. We do have dedicated bicep swivels, which are good, so we can spin the arms around. And then this is where we go into the accessories as well, but I'm going to talk about them specifically in the next section. The left and right arms are different. You're going to notice that the right arm is not plugged in all the way. So we have single hinge elbows, and Gipsy has about that much range of movement dedicated. However, for the right arm, because of the peg that the right arm parts swap on, there is a little bit of a swivel. Why that is not true for the left arm, I don't know, but it is what it is. For the wrists, all of them with the interchangeable hand parts as well, they swivel and they hinge. Okay. For the ab crunch, we do have a ball joint, which is pretty solid. Twist and turn, we can even spin all the way around if we should so please, and we have pretty solid rocking forward and back movement. For the hips, well, we do have ratchet joints, so yeah, go that far forward and that far back, which is good. And then we get a little bit of hinge movement out to the side. So, it's serviceable. Interestingly enough, we do have double hinge knees, which is cool. All right. Then for the ankles, kind of ahead of the game here. We do have hinges forward and back, and then we have swivels there actually, so we can kind of spin around at the base where they plug in just a bit. It's kind of hard to get them to move, it seems like. But we do have ankle rockers where they plug into the feet. We do also have a hinge for the back of the foot, and then that's that there for Gipsy and her articulation. Now, with that being said, the year is 2023. Now, I'm going to switch over to McFarlane for a second, and this is where Hugo Martin comes in. Hugo Martin designed Gipsy Danger, basically. He designed all the Jaegers. That's going to be another part. So, Hugo Martin was also one of the directors on a little game called Doom Eternal. Now, McFarlane, the Doomslayer that... that they made, the original one, was kind of not good. The Figma is pretty much better. Now, for DST's original round of Jaegers, the articulation was pretty much fine for when they came out because, it was really their first crack at doing robots. Realistically speaking, Iron Giant, okay, I didn't have a chance to meddle around with that, but nevertheless, you understand the point that I'm making. So when McFarlane, they did their first crack at the Doomslayer, it was not very good. I gave it an okay review because, hey, it's our first real Doom Guy action figure. But here's the real meat and potatoes of what I'm trying to say. Admittedly, yes, this is going to have repaints. This is going to be used just a little bit more with some modifications here and there. And it's not going to come with the accessories, which I'm going to talk about in a second. So obviously there is going to be a price difference. However, it's 2023. We have shoulder pad articulation at this point, or at least implementation is what I should say, where if there is a will, you can say that, okay, you can get away with soft plastic here, but if there is a will, there is a way for companies to implement shoulder pad articulation, whether it's $20 or $120. I don't have the Soul of Chogokin out. Where we can get that, and this isn't DST's first jaunt with Jaegers. So I understand you can only do so much with your budget, but let's not T-pose on Gipsy, okay? That's my point. So let's maybe work to improve the articulation if there are going to be other Jaegers that are made. Also, standing, you saw it flop. It's floppy taco. Anyway, for accessories, we do have dedicated left and right fists, which, cool, that's nice, can't do elbow rocket. Pretty much can't. But what we do get, for the right arm, we get the plasma caster and we get the chainsword. And by default, the chainsword is attached out of the box. We're looking at pictures right now. But interestingly, the fist cannot be moved. So just keep that in mind. Don't try to move it. So just in case for whatever reason you missed it, here is how you swap them out. Once you do swap it out, you just have to make sure that you are pushing very, very hard to go back in, because there is a little notch on that peg, and then it will go in securely. For the plasma caster, it is a little difficult to get that swivel out of that peg, but nevertheless, it's there. And now, since I've shot everything, just to really show you here, see, there is no swivel, and you cannot pull the left arm off. So no 360 spin view for accessories here or other stuff. If you need support stands or whatnot, I got videos to help you out. For articulation, it's fine. For accessories, it works. It's solid. All right, and here's going to be a size comparison with Gipsy Danger and some other figures that you may have. An issue that I did have with the original Pacific Rim line from NECA was that it was too big, and unfortunately we do have a trend continued here. However, with another company doing kaiju stuff, we can have Gipsy versus Godzilla. And Gipsy blends in well with NECA stuff. So that's pretty good. So buy now, skip, or wait for a deal. So one thing I do want to make very clear is that it is currently 2023. We have absolutely terrible inflation, and a lot of the comparisons that I made were from other companies who admittedly either have reused the sculpt for other things or released repaints or packed in that figure with other accessories with other releases, and that does ultimately contribute to reducing the cost of initial investment for the product, and they are able to release that product at a lower price point than what they may need to release the product for if they were to do single releases, which admittedly Diamond Select is probably only going to be able to do this one Gipsy, maybe a repaint, which they do have an SDCC exclusive, and be done. Here's the problem, though. It's fine. This is a Gipsy Danger figure you can put on the shelf. I'm not really impressed, so to speak. The articulation, even given that, is kind of dated in and of itself. I already showed you a couple of examples of where it definitely could have been improved. And then one other thing that I wanted to talk about now that I'm recapping everything, I don't know where my other DST Jaegers are at. So here's going to be a promo pic of the SDCC 2-pack with Gipsy, Danger, and Avenger. I don't know how big Avenger is, and I don't know how Danger is offhand. But if it's relative scale, wherein they are supposed to be the same size, kind of like you keep all of your Godzillas the same size, or if it's actual scale wherein Avenger is supposed to be X amount of feet tall and Danger is supposed to be X amount of feet tall, and you have your 50-meter Godzilla literally half the size of your 100-meter Godzilla, meaning you have a 6-inch 100-meter and a 3-inch 50-meter, this doesn't look right. Anyway, to get back to the review formally, yeah, it's $40. If you like it, go ahead and get it. Just don't expect to be super duper overwhelmed. It's fine.
Hey collectors, that's going to wrap up the video today. And as always, thanks for watching, commenting, sharing, subbing. It all helps. I always enjoy responding to comments, so be sure to drop one down below and I will respond if I can. I do have supporters on Patreon as well, and each review gets an end card to show who is supporting each month, so here are the end cards. Camera batteries, SD cards, even hard drives. It's not possible without that support, so thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Here's the final end card, so this way you can click subscribe, check out another video, or even check out the social media outlets. You know you want to. Before we end today, as in the description, there may be paid ad space, affiliate links, or product samples that were sent out in this video, so please check out the STR ad disclosure. Thanks again for watching, and I'll catch ya in the next video.